Attention!
Hands go down from both coxswains. Beautiful water. As you see Thames just squeeze that away, those blades buried deep as they get nicely out. Sitting really upright and getting the stroke rate up and all the power. Look at that boat surging and all that hot water.
There it goes. Nice clear calls from Connie there in the stroke seat. Constance Badu. So she's won Henley twice with Thames, hasn't she? A regular there. She's sort of got a season ticket there for that seat. But that's great. Nice clear calls to get them off the blocks. And Molesey looking just as sharp, really. That's punchy, clean.
Well, it's a drag race, isn't it, this one? You know, you want to get out, you want to get your bows in front, coming along the top of the island. Thames slightly showing in front, but Molesey are not going to let them move any further, I don't think.
Yeah, with an 8, it's a bit like sort of lighting the touch paper and standing well back, isn't it? You know, like you want to give them some room.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're coming along the top, coming through the top of the island. Now we see those blades, and like you say, I think that looks quite aggressive. I think it'd be fair to say.
That is aggressive, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not something that you imagine they're going to be able to keep that going the whole way down the track. As we look at Stephen Moss in the stroke seat of that Thames crew, looks almost like he's sort of pulling himself onto his blade a little bit to make sure he stays strong in his body and finishes each stroke out. It's
a tricky balance, isn't it? When you know you've got two crews that are evenly matched, you want to try and like kick it in, put the nail in early and try and like break them mentally. And I think the crew is obviously intent on doing that, and the cox, Connie, has to sort of just manage them and keep them in check, keep them slick.
Yeah, it's a good thing to say, actually. You wonder how calm they can be in their voice to keep the crew calm, keep under control, keep loose and long, because I think when you go too over the top, you kind of tend to tense up in your shoulders a bit and maybe lose a bit of that length in that sweep. So that sort of trade-off almost of relaxation, but also aggression and power, and hopefully Thames will be the way for them to be able to maintain it. I guess the pace with all that aggression, are they relaxed enough to keep this going?
It's a really fine line, that, but I think looking at this, I think they've got it right. Looking at Thames in shot there, it does look loose. You know, you can see the stroke and shoulders just hanging nice and loose there. He's swinging round, just looking down the course. He's not flustered.
Yeah, I think you're right. It really doesn't feel like there's too much let-up from either crew. Certainly Thames, I think, there's a real kind of intensity about this still. I think they want to break Molesey in this first half of the course.
Difficult viewing for you here, Greg, but I think it looks like Thames have got a slight sniff, slight nose on there on the Thames crew there. So both in black, really. Molesey on the right and Thames on the left there.
Yeah, can't help hiding my Molesey history. But I think while there's still an overlap in these races, you know that anything could happen, and if there could be a little momentum shift, I do feel like Thames went out really strongly, really trying to get control, 38 strokes a minute still. They're going for it.
As you say, it could be too easy to overcook, you know, and actually trying to do that can pay off. And if Molesey has been a bit more reserved but a bit measured, you know, maybe we will see something turn around down the course.
Well, absolutely. It's still 38. You see a little look to the side to think Molesey are still here. They're still right in with us, but the crew are trying to stay focused, trying to just deliver everything they can. Deliver your 1/8. Don't get distracted by anything else that's going on. Forget that this is Henley. Forget any of the history. Just keep pounding it along. But I still think Molesey are hanging in there.
Yeah, it looks like they're really in the mix now. Actually, I think you're right. They have kept their composure for this.
Yeah, Molesey have got 37 strokes a minute. Both these two coming down now towards Remenham. There'll be a packed house in Remenham. Both these clubs, obviously members of that club that comes together as that collaboration of clubs from the upper reaches of the Thames. And Molesey, I think, hanging in here at half a length.
You can hear the screams, can't you?
So Molesey being warned for their steering. Don't know why they would want to wander towards the centre of the racetrack here and get themselves in trouble. I don't think they're going to get pulled by the bow wave really from Thames, as we see a reasonable sized correction to get back on the track there.
Recorrecting that, and now this is where you're going to hear the volume, isn't it? As we had that wider shot, you could see there was a large sort of white tented canopy, and that is the Remenham Club, which is both of these clubs are members of Remenham. So you can hear most of the fans are packed out in there, all sort of charging glasses and shouting and screaming. And
they've gone past the Remenham Club now. They're in this quiet bit. You can see the bushes on the left where you're suddenly in a quiet little zone on your own. You might hear a few individual shouts, and then you hit the grandstands. You hit the stewards' enclosure. And Thames really are going to have to keep working and hanging in here. Still, to me, looking really quite aggressive, quite punchy. And I wonder whether there's just a slightly nicer rhythm in that Molesey boat. But that might be me maybe just hoping that this Molesey crew may be able to just keep the rhythm going and come back.
Keep your fingers crossed there, Greg, because when I was looking there and we had that shot of Stephen Moss in the stroke seat of Thames, I could see him sort of like connect. The penny was dropping that this is when we need to close it off. And I guess looking at this shot, are they doing that? I don't know. They've got a slight lead on them, but it's still up for grabs, right?
Well, I think we're seeing what we all want to see, which is really close, top-level competition, top-level sport on the Henley course. What a great picture of the two crews moving pretty well together. It still looks like there's a bit of splash. It still looks like sometimes those blades maybe just slightly being rode into the water, but there's no shortage of heart, no shortage of bravery from this Thames crew who went out hard, and now they're hanging on to that half length, hoping that finish line will creep up before the Molesey bow can creep up. And I think they're doing well in the Thames bow.
There's probably a lot of passion in that Thames bow at the moment. You've got Ben Lewis as his last sort of foray at coaching. You know, he's hanging up his rate watch from now on. So, you know, whatever race is the last race at Henley will be his last bit of coaching. So the crew probably know that, and they want to go out on a high, and that's where they've taken it to Molesey today, isn't it?
Well, I'm sure Ben Lewis will feel proud in that following umpire's launch as the crews are coming towards the progress board on the right there, which marks that there's probably only about 10 strokes left, and this crew from Thames have been fantastic. I think they're going to have done enough. They've opened that gap up. It was half a length coming into the enclosures. They've opened that up to about 3/4 of a length as we're coming past the floating grandstand. This is the view from the finish line, and the crew from Thames are going to be successful today, as they were at Marlow, over the crew from Molesey, and they will feel pretty pleased with that as a Thursday race at Henley. They've had to work for it, but you can see the enthusiasm of that cheer and confirmation of that win in the Thames Challenge Cup for Thames Rowing Club A over Molesey Boat Club.